This is Illustrated, my friend. The week has started off hot in Philadelphia, and the atmosphere is tense ahead of the matchup against the Giants. On one side, good news and more news about injuries that could change the course of the game. On the other, hot rumors of a potentially explosive trade involving one of the NFL's best tight ends. And to top it all off, the changes for Thursday's matchup are leaving fans buzzing, with a major name on the team promising revenge against his former team, and the Eagles ready to show their full strength on Thursday Night Football. But wait, before I tell you who's out, who might make it, and what to expect from this big game, subscribe to the channel and activate the bell, because what I'm about to reveal will thrill the entire Eagles nation. Philadelphia fans, buckle up, because the countdown to Thursday Night Football just got even more dramatic. The Eagles are coming off their first loss of the season, a stunning 21-17 collapse to the Denver Broncos, where 18 unanswered points in the fourth quarter left everyone in disbelief. And now, just a few days later, they have no time to lick their wounds, with a divisional matchup against the New York Giants right around the corner. Let's start with the news. Saquon Barkley is on a roll after sitting out Monday's practice with knee soreness. On Wednesday, he was back on the field, moving confidently and taking full reps with the offense. That's great, not just because Barkley adds explosiveness to the running game, but only because he's facing his former team, the Giants. You know he's been waiting for this moment, and there's one thing you learn about Saquon. Revenge fuels his fire. But then comes the gut punch, the bad news. Defensive tackle. Jalen Carter, the anchor of the Eagles' dominant defensive line, appeared on the injury report with a heel injury. He's officially listed as questionable for Thursday night, and international sources say the weather will test him until kickoff. Carter's presence changes everything. He's the kind of playmaker who breaks pockets, clogs running lanes, and makes everyone around him better. Without him, the Eagles' defense loses its glue, that strength up the middle that makes opponents panic. And that's not all. Offensive lineman Landon Dickerson is out with an ankle injury, tight end Grant Calcaterra is out with an oblique strain, and linebacker Nakobe Dean is listed as injured, questionable as he recovers from an injury. In short, the Eagles are hurt, worn out, but still breathing. The timing couldn't be more difficult. A short week means limited practices, limited recovery, and maximum pressure. The Eagles coaching staff is racing against the clock, not just to repair bodies, but to restore the offensive rhythm that disappeared against Denver. This is where the story gets spicier. Saquon Barkley, now fully released, faces the time that let him go. Last time he played against the Giants, he smashed 176 yards and a touchdown. And guess what? The Giants' defense still hasn't learned how to stop the run. They rank 26th in the NFL, allowing an average of 140 yards per game. It's the perfect setup for Barkley's breakout game in green. Still, everything depends on Carter's heels. If he gets on the field, the Eagles' defense remains balanced. If not, Jordan Davis gets on the field. And while he's not sloppy, the chemistry without offense changes. Davis has recorded 11 solo tackles and 1 sack so far. Solid numbers. But the Giants' offensive line, flawed as it is, could test that depth early and often. But as the medical department works around the clock ahead of the divisional clash, a new conversation is taking place behind the scenes, and it involves a possible bold trade move. A move that could completely change the Eagles' offense. Let's break this down, because it's not just a fluke, it actually makes sense. Isaiah Likely, the talented young tight end seen as Andrews' heir apparent, is back healthy after a broken foot. This means Andrews could be on the trade list, and the Eagles are one of the few teams that ticks all the boxes to be considered a potential candidate. Consider the current situation in Philadelphia. Dallas Goedert is still the starting tight end, but the depth behind him? Virtually non-existent. Grant Calcaterra is out with an oblique injury, leaving the Eagles without a strong TE2 option. And that's a problem for an offense that thrives on 2 tight end sets. When this system works, it's because Hurts has outlets in the middle of the field. Big, sure-footed targets who can keep defenses guessing. That's exactly where someone like Mark Andrews could step in and make an immediate impact. Now, the interesting part. According to reports, the Ravens may be bidding on Andrews for as little as a 6th-round pick. You guessed right, a 6th-round pick. And guess what? The Eagles have several late-round picks left. For a front office as strategic as Howie Roseman's, this is like finding gold at a yard sale. Andrews' career numbers tell the story. Over 5,600 receiving yards, 53 touchdowns, and an average of 12.5 yards per reception. That's elite territory. Even with injuries or a slight slowdown in 2024, he remains one of the most consistent red zone threats in football. Imagine pairing that with Hurts, A.J. Brown, Devonta Smith, and Goedert. Defenses wouldn't know who to double team. The possibilities are endless. But let's not kid ourselves. There's another side. Andrews is used to being the guy in Baltimore. Would he accept a reduced role in Philadelphia? Would he thrive in a system where he might not see double-digit targets every week? And would the Ravens really part with a veteran leader mid-season, even for draft capital? These are the questions that make this potential move so intriguing. Still, if I've learned anything about Howie Roseman, it's this. He loves adding proven talent before before the trade deadline. He's a chess player, not a checkers player. If he sees a piece that fits on the board, he moves quickly, and a connection between Hurts and Andrews could be the exact flaw this offense needs to continue advancing in the NFC. And while trade rumors continue to stir fans, the moment of truth on the field is coming. The big test comes this Thursday, and the projections for the matchup against the Giants are generating buzz. After a disappointing start to the season, the Birds are 4-1, still near the top of the NFC, but the loss to Denver left a lasting impression. 18 unanswered points in the fourth quarter? That's not just a loss, it's a warning sign. Now, with just 4 days to recover, the Eagles head straight into a tight divisional race against the New York Giants under the spotlight on Thursday Night Football. And trust me, this game could reset the tone of the entire season. Here we go. 3 bold calls every Philly fan needs to hear before kickoff. And spoiler alert, one of them might surprise you. Prediction number 1. The Eagles rack up at least 5 sacks with Jackson Dart. The Giants' offensive line has been a disaster this season. Quarterback Jackson Dart has been criticized every time he drops back. 6 sacks in just 2 games. The Eagles' defensive line, despite being in a fight. Prediction number 2. Saquon Barkley runs for over 100 yards and scores a touchdown. It's redemption time. Barkley's return to face his old self isn't just another story. It's personal. The last time he saw the Giants, he blew them away for 176 yards and a touchdown. This week, the Giants ranked 26th in the NFL against the rush, giving up an average of 140 yards per game. The stage is set for Barkley's revenge tour. Expect him to run with rage, with purpose, tearing holes like a man possessed. And let's be honest, if the Eagles want to control this game, it's going to be Barkley snapping the ball and setting up a play-action pass for Hurts to run deep. Prediction number 3. The Eagles win comfortably. Final score, 27-17. Let's call it like it is. The Giants simply don't have the firepower to keep up. Their defense is flawed, their offensive line leaks pressure, and their receiving corps is missing key players like Darius Slayton. The Eagles, on the other hand, have been tested, humiliated, and are hungry to respond. This game won't be about survival. It's about making a statement. Expect Hurts to play cleaner football. Expect A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith to dominate the secondary, and expect the defense to finally emerge as the dominant unit we know it can be. Now, here's the wild card. If Jalen Carter plays, this 10-point win could easily turn into a 20-point rout. His presence up the middle changes everything, from the pass pressure to the run defense to the overall energy on the field. Without him, it's still a comfortable win, but the Giants could stay in contention for longer than Philadelphia fans would like. Here's the big question. With Saquon Barkley seeking revenge, Jalen Carter battling an injury, and trade rumors swirling around Mark Andrews, do you believe the Eagles have enough firepower now to crush the Giants and prove they're still the NFC champions to beat? Or should Howie Roseman make a move before it's too late? Leave your opinion here, and don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. I'll be back later to update you with the latest Eagles news.